Let's talk skin. Let's talk truth. This is Barefaced Chat, and I'm Kelly Saynor. I've spent over 2 decades in aesthetics, seen behind the filters, under the makeup, and beneath the skin. On this podcast, we strip back the noise and get real about beauty, identity, and everything in between. In this episode, we look at finding your voice in a loud industry, quiet leadership, and doing things the right way. Dual lives and juggling life as an A&E sister and an aesthetics nurse. We look at ADHD, adaptation and self-awareness, and the realities of care, what patients don't see, as well as personal growth and human connection. So Lucy talks about her journey from PR agency life to corporate comms. She shares honest insights on acne scarring, self-image and confidence. She also reflects on motherhood, media pressure and navigating her own skin health. Because skin isn't just skin, it's your story, and I'm here for it. I'm Kelly Saynor. Are you ready for some barefaced chat? Disclaimer: the views shared in this episode are personal opinion and are not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making decisions about your skin or health. Absolutely delighted to have you on here, and I think that I find you really interesting, fascinating, your views, your ideals, your diverse background. But for everybody listening, Lucy, I really just want to introduce you so everybody knows what a powerhouse that you've been over the last 20 years. So let me introduce you and see whether you think this is a fair assessment of you and you through my eyes, really. Listen to this, guys. From Manchester fashion PR agencies to one of the UK's most recognisable ethical retailers, Lucy has had a flair for building brand stories that really matter. And I found that the first time I met you. It's believable. And you've got such passion that you instantly feel like you'd say, it's not really for me. And you need that from somebody that's going to be representing you. Lucy has always had a flair for building brand stories that really matter. Now value strategy and comms lead at Co-op. She's spent over 20 years navigating the ever-evolving world of media, beauty, branding and influence, which we can see. And I think you're an amazing influencer. And having been on your course, like you can't underestimate you, because you think you know stuff and then you go on a course and you're like, oh, that's what we need to do. You simplify the landscape for people that just aren't in the know. She's also a working mum, so holla to the mums, and a former Renew team member. And the very reason why The Perfect Peel was featured on ITV's The Price of Perfection, which is like, absolutely like, thank you. So it really helped catapult us and help the peel shine in the way that we see it, so the rest of the world could see it. So that's changed our lives here. So thank you for that exposure. It was amazing. And believing in us as well that we could do it. So in today's episode, we're going to chat about what it's like moving from agency to freelance, back into corporate, and the pressures that women feel, in a world of PR to kind of look the part, to be the part. I think it's a bit of a, you need to it's a very feminine world, but you need to be sat in your masculine a lot. And yeah. I think that's something I've learned about who I am, and even in relationships, understanding what that means and about how I quite like control and dominant, I like it to be. And I've realised that's me in my masculine, but actually I need to sit more in my feminine, and we can talk a bit about that. But, I want to talk about your personal experiences with acne scarring and aesthetics treatments. And let's touch a bit on mum life and, your view of the world from your children's eyes as well now, bringing these little ones up and what you want for them going forward. But actually how we see beauty evolving, is it all just filters, fluff, bullshit? We'll decode it and download it. But let me welcome this amazing woman who helped put us on the map. So thank you, Luce.
Oh, thanks for having me. What an intro. Absolutely amazing. Smash that.
Thank you. It comes naturally when you want to pick people to join me when you like them.
Oh.
I think it'd be controversial and it'd be quite exciting actually to pick people that you don't like. But yeah. It's easier because it should feel like natural, and it does with
Yeah.
you. It always has.
Yeah. We just hit it off as soon as we met, didn't we? The first time we met.
100%.
In here.
It was easy.
Yeah.
And I think like we're saying about women meeting women, and, you know, you need to have that like complete affinity, that trust.
Yeah.
Otherwise you don't feel in like the safest of hands.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you today about initially like your work-life balance, career, and what's brought you here.
Yeah.
And why you've chosen, because it's quite a pivot.
Yeah.
It's quite a pivot. And having known you, I can see why you moved from freelance into this sort of world. But just explain for anybody listening, and if they're thinking about getting into the industry, it's changed massively, right? So you've obviously gone from like fashion PR as well to running your own business, and now you are working at the Co-op. Tell me more about like that journey.
Yeah. So absolutely. I was working in PR agencies. I'd gone up to Edinburgh with a show at the end of uni and sort of blagged my way as a producer of this show. And part of that role meant going down and pitching it to the press office. And that was my first experience of a press office. And walking in there, I was like, the penny dropped. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
I had no idea before then. I'd graduated. I had no idea what I wanted to do till that moment. I went home, I was working a regular office job, and then got work experience at the BBC when they were on Oxford Road, showing my age.
Yeah, I remember.
So it was like really tough application process, and they offered a 10-week placement. So you do 2 days a week for 10 weeks.
Right.
Which was really nice. So rather than just going in and, you know, striking your luck over a 2-week period with something going on, you could really see something through.
Oh, that's ace.
And it was a tiny team and they were lovely and they took me under their wing.
That's like
and
proper old school, isn't it?
So old school. So old school. And I remember actually turning 24 while I was there and going, oh my God, I'm so old. And one of the ladies in the office was turning 42 that week. And she was like, try flipping it around, honey.
That's brilliant.
But she was like, you know, and I'm not even calling myself old. So like,
wowzer.
Pipe down.
Yeah. Okay.
Quite rightly.
Get back in your box, love.
Yeah. And they were brilliant, helped me apply. They were like, have you thought about PR agencies? Like, go and give that a go. There kind of aren't many press office roles really.
So what did you do at uni?
In Manchester. So I did sociology at uni.
Right.
Again, kind of, that was my favourite A-level that I did. And I just wanted to go to uni, really.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep my options open.
Got you.
In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have chosen that. I would have done
but you've given
something different. But
diversity. So carry on, I'm loving this.
Yeah. So off the back of that, they were helping me apply for jobs and things and were looking out for jobs and introducing me to their contacts. And so I got a job working for a small charity. It was a short contract. So even though I think that was a 3-month contract, I didn't want to live at home anymore.
Yeah.
So I think what will come through today is I'm quite like knee-jerk and quite spontaneous.
Yeah.
So if I want to do something, I just do it. And I think like I'll pay the consequences later.
Yeah.
Or like,
Same.
how bad can it be? I think, how bad can it be? So
Instincts.
I trust my gut.
Yeah.
So off I went trying to find a flat in Didsbury. Found a awful flat. It was absolutely
horrendous.
It was horrendous.
Wipe your feet on the way out.
But literally. Oh my God, we had mice and everything. It was disgusting. Mold in the bathroom, like, what? But it was cheap. It was right in the thick of things, right on Burton Road in West Didsbury. And the girl who I would be flat sharing with was absolutely lovely. She was like having a fag, was like, do you want to go to the pub? I was like, we're going to get on. You know, this is like a long time ago.
We're going to be friends.
This is great. Anyway, we both were thinking about moving to London as well. So she was like, great, you only want to be here for 3 months. Fine. Both working in Manchester, but I had these plans to go to London. Anyway, London never happened for either of us.
Yeah.
Bit of a diversion, but she's ended up marrying my husband's best friend, this friend that I made. Yeah. How mad is that? We didn't introduce them for like years actually, but then as soon as they met, they're
what
married.
A story.
I know. It's one of those.
That's crazy.
And she was like, do you remember when you used to call people randoms?
Yeah, complete random.
Complete random.
That is hilarious.
Such a big thing. We were like, this is my random I was telling you about.
No.
Now we're really good friends.
That is brilliant. Oh, that is
and
so
like just,
nice.
Yeah, hit it off. So
It's about a full circle moment.
yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then, decided to stay in Manchester, got a PR agency job.
Yeah.
It was on Canal Street, but a massive agency that obviously the internet wasn't what it is now. So I hadn't done loads and loads of research into it. I knew what the best PR agencies were and went for. I didn't really know the background. I didn't know it had just been sold to WPP, who are like a global ad agency. So it was a really tricky time.
Still in the yellow pages.
Literally. So it was, there was a lot going on there when I joined, a lot. But we were working on clients like Boddington's, Velcro, which I know sounds really random, but, you know, global brand.
Wow.
Who else were we working on? All sorts of brands like that. And had a really good time for 2 years there. And then that was kind of my introduction to agency life. And you kind of hop on every couple of years. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So kind of did a few different agency roles with a slight, I don't know if to call it a blip or just again another moment of madness where I was like, do you know what? I fancy going and living in Barcelona for a bit.
Did you?
So I went, I decided to do a TEFL course, teach English as a foreign language.
Yeah.
I did it in Manchester and was kind of planning on teaching it in Manchester. Just needed a change. I think the bitchiness had crept in at work and a few things were happening. I was like, do you know what? I need out.
Yeah.
And I need out now.
Yeah.
So what can I do? Right. Again, probably flicking through a yellow pages or similar. I know, I'll do a TEFL course. And we'd just been to a festival in Spain and we'd met a load of really sound Spanish people from Barcelona. Like boys and girls, but nothing like, just really friendshipy, just amazing. Again, just like clicked with these people. Like we're still friends with them now. This was 2007. So I was like, why don't I do this? Why don't I do a TEFL in Barcelona and then stay there for a bit?
I love your brave already.
So that's what I did. So, but I ended up, I never actually worked out there, to be honest. I mean, I picked up tiny bits of work, but I would work 10 till 2 for a Manchester PR agency freelance.
Oh,
just me and my little laptop in my little flat. Again, just found a flat share in Barcelona and I'd work 10 till 2 and then I'd go to the beach all afternoon. My tan was banging.
Babe, I
was
think
living.
You realise how brave that is though.
Yeah.
It's brave.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was like 26.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, just never, I think again, it comes from that place of just, I don't know, maybe a bit more of a free spirit than I give myself credit for. Maybe it's my like upbringing that I know like my mum's got my back and I know
secure.
I can always go back there if I need to, that security. Yeah.
And what's the worst that can happen? That sort of bohemian energy, almost.
Yeah.
You almost
think so.
Yeah,
because actually, well, a bit amiss. When I was 23, I went travelling around the world on my own for a year. Ended up being longer than a year because I cancelled my ticket home.
Oh my gosh.
So I was away for an extra couple of months.
Dark horse.
I remember thinking, I didn't particularly want to go to Australia. I didn't particularly want to go backpacking on my own because my sister had done that for 3 months a couple of years earlier. And then something just clicked with me that I thought, do you know what? Talking about the control thing, I wanted to just go where I wanted, when I wanted, and do what I wanted, speak who I wanted to be. And this definitely plays into the way I like network today, in that like I will happily go to and I would rather go to a networking event on my own because it makes you speak to people.
Of course it does.
I knew if I went with a friend or with 2 friends, we wouldn't meet half as many people.
Yeah.
We definitely wouldn't meet many local people.
Yeah.
We'd stick to the track. We'd probably just be getting drunk.
Yeah.
Or on the beach.
Totally get it.
So I went on my own, had a brilliant time. But
no, you're right. Just to get onto that point, I learned that quite late on.
Right.
And I never felt quite confident enough to just be on my own, really. And it was only really until I got divorced and I went to a bar on my own. And I sat in the bar and people were like, you on your own? I was like, yeah. And I loved it because it really forced me out of my comfort zone. I thought if I've got to 40 on, I can't sit in a bar on my own. Like, this is a poor show.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So I completely hear that.
But, you know, a lot of people won't. A lot of people never will.
No. It's a shame though, isn't it?
It is a shame. But yeah, I love my own company. I'm probably an introvert, extrovert. Like most people would think, oh, you work in PR, you go to events, you love a night out, you're an extrovert. But I think I'm probably an introvert, extrovert, and that's why.
You're an ambivert.
Oh, am I?
That's what you are.
I've not heard of that one.
An ambivert is somebody that has got this, that you can be drained easily. So if you like overdo your social battery.
Yeah.
So you need downtime.
Yeah.
But where you get your social energy is situations where you might be on your own, but you know when to dial it up, dial it down.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely sit in that ambivert space.
Love that.
I know. When I heard it, I was like, oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I think people think I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
And I love my own company.
Yeah.
I need that gives me recharge time as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, even if when I go on holiday with friends or whatever, I love it. But I'm the one who's probably like just having like an hour in my room on my own at the end of the day, like just decompressing a little bit. Yeah.
Just upload the day.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Anyway,
So Kate ended up coming back. So I was that age where all my friends were getting married and I was a bridesmaid, I think twice. So I had to come back from Barcelona to the UK to do that. And
anyway.
I can't remember now why I didn't actually go back. I must have got a job.
When was this? What year was this?
So we're probably, this is like between 2008 and 2010.
Okay.
I think I came back and my sister had a baby. I'd become an auntie. All these sorts of things were happening, like pretty major things. I think the agency I'd been freelancing for, actually, I continued freelancing for them, but from the UK.
Got you.
From Manchester again. That was it. And then I started renting a flat in Manchester, which is, I've just found out actually, the past couple of weeks, is an old co-op owned building.
Stop it. Is it 11:11? It's 11:10.
Stop.
Not even joking.
So,
sorry,
this story's going all over the place.
Hey, I love it. No, it's the best.
So where I work at Co-op now, in the head office right by the Victoria end of Manchester, and if you know a big arena, not the Co-op arena. I always call it the MEM, but is it the AO? End of town. My flat was there, and I now park further away than my flat was. So I walk past my flat to get to the office. And obviously I always look at it and I can walk straight past my window. We were like on the first floor. Just the other day, I saw the CWS on it, which I now know means Co-op Wholesale Society.
That's nuts.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And now there's loads of the buildings around there have got that beautiful old, they've had to keep the facades.
Yeah, of course.
Heritage.
Yeah.
And lots of the, and obviously it was the Rochdale Pioneers, wasn't it? That started the cooperative movement and all of this. And, but yeah, how funny.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I just remembered that was that time. So then I was working for probably one of my favourite jobs of all time was a PR agency where I stayed for 6 years and had my first baby while I was working there and sort of did the whole maternity leave thing. We were kind of a challenger agency. So it was a boutique agency, I would say. There was probably like any time between like 20 to 30 people there on 2 floors. We just had a ball. We had so much autonomy. We really pulled together. It was a great team.
Was that your like the best job kind of job, or have you got like a few? Or would they all take you?
That stands out, and it was apart from running my own business. That's the longest job I've ever done. It was 6 years.
Everybody has got that one job, haven't they?
Yeah,
Harley Med for me was that. Yeah, the team was like perfect.
I think for me, it is about the people.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the work was really fun as well and challenging, and no 2 days were the same. I know everyone says that, but
it's a cliche for a reason, right?
Yeah. But yeah, we just I'm not kidding. I used to go home from work with my cheeks aching because we'd laughed so much.
That's the best kind of job.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
But at the same time, we were winning awards.
Yeah.
The work.
It's like your heyday, wasn't it?
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
This probably was your heyday job.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it holds, it's like holds a space.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain people that hold a space. There's certain jobs. I do believe everyone, if they really thought about it, that was the heyday. So I think that's...
And there's a lot of us that are still in touch, but it's come down to sort of, I don't want to say circumstantial because that feels mean to the people that I am still very close with. But like this time last year, in fact, this very time last year, I was on holiday with 3 of those friends. We regularly go out for dinner. Yeah. And then last year it was, one of them was getting married. So we were like, let's have a cheeky weekend away.
I love it.
So yeah, friends for life from that. But I left to go freelance.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I left. I left to go and work for Weber Shandwick, which is the world's largest networked agency. Needing a new challenge, probably getting a bit itchy feet, probably a lot of people had left while I was on maternity leave.
Yeah.
Obs missing me.
Yeah, of course.
Wasn't the same place without me walking around.
Walking the streets.
It wasn't the same. And I think we used to do, I said no 2 days were the same. We were pitching constantly for new business. I was constantly in the car driving around. That was my normal at the time. Like clients were all over the place, and you'd be in a meeting in Blackburn to Birmingham to on the train to London to Scotland. We were everywhere.
Wow.
You know, it's like it won't happen today because of Teams. Like they could have all been Teams meetings, but that we had great relationships with our clients and our team because we were in the car for 2 hours for a meeting.
Of course, you had no choice.
Kylie at the top of our voices. And quickly scribbling down agendas in the car on the way.
I'm telling you, girl, that connection's gone. It was real human to human oxytocin, you know, secreting, dopamine hitting, serotonin feeling. Yeah. We don't have that the same.
No.
So those relationships cannot be as strong.
No. You're completely right. Completely right. So I think on realising that wasn't there and on being, and I couldn't do that level of travel either with a baby. I had to be at nursery to pick her up at 5:30. My partner didn't have a car, and we'd planned the nursery that was sort of en route to work for me, and so we could do all that. So I got back. It wasn't the same. Thought, right, new challenge. So went to an agency that I was going to say it was notoriously had a reputation for really working you hard, which sounds strange that I'm saying I couldn't do that, but I wanted to go there. But it had since changed, actually. Its reputation hung on its former MD. Okay. And that'll be like no shock to anybody. Yeah. And had a wonderful new, young, I think she was 29. Wow. Managing director in place that was and is amazing. She's gone on, she's a CEO now of something. And again, she's probably, I don't know, 36 now, or whatever that was. She was great. But I did less than a year there, actually. I'd just moved to Macclesfield and taken a job in Manchester City Centre. Okay. And I was a real guinea pig there. So I was the first person to do a 4-day week. Right. I was the first person to do a day from home. Yeah. So I was going in 3 days a week. Yeah. And at a sort of at a senior role, I guess. My team did not understand. They would constantly say to me, oh, because you're not in on Wednesday. I was like, no, I'm working from home on Wednesday. That new hybrid role. Very much available. Yeah. People, this was like 2017, 2016. People just couldn't get their heads around it. And now I think they have a lot of people doing that. You know, we've had COVID and we're many, many years on from that. Yeah. But at that time, it was very stressful and it was very time consuming. It just didn't work for me. Then a couple of personal things happened and I just thought, do you know what? Again, off I go. Off you go. So I went to... There's a theme here, I think. I decided I couldn't leave. Again, I had to get out, get out. It got to that point. And a couple of like personal things happened. And I was like, right, what can I do? I think we were on holiday actually. And I can see myself now at the airport kind of Googling next steps. Like a few options that I thought about. So I trained as a fitness instructor. No, you didn't. Of course you did. Of course you did. So I trained as a fitness instructor and set up a business. Yeah. Doing like fitness classes for new mums and parents in Mac. I'd done a similar thing when I lived in Chorlton with my daughter and loved it. Yeah. I'd, gone along. Yeah. And I've always loved fitness, much to my mum's shock. I was chatting to my mum the other day about going to the gym. She was like, do you go to the gym? Like, Mum, I've had a gym membership since I was 14. I'm 43. How do you not know? I literally was talking through all the gyms I've been at because I was trying to then convince myself. Yeah. She was like, oh, did you? I had a fitness business. I remember my fitness business. So loved doing that. Turned out, obviously, you've got to be ambitious and you've got to believe it's going to work. So had all these plans for it to grow and grow and grow. But I ended up doing 2 sessions a week and freelancing around it, to be honest, doing the PR. And then realised actually I did really like PR still. It'd just been those kind of moments that put me off. And actually, I've been doing it for a long time, did know what I was doing. It's in your blood, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. It is a part of who I am. Yeah. And you fall in and out of love with it. Yeah. And you just then have to like redirect yourself and re-love it again in a different form. Or a different, guise or whatever. Exactly. So I completely get that. Exactly. And I think loads of people, if they admitted it, they would have that probably that feeling as well. It's normal. Yeah, 100%. I did that, I don't know, not even a year again, but I fell pregnant with my second baby. Right. So I was doing that for a bit and then I was like, you know what, I can't really. Yeah. I mean, you could do it while you're pregnant, but I guess the freelancing was really taking off. Yeah. And it was coming a lot, like headspace wise, it was becoming a real lot to juggle, really promoting it and all. Now you want a second baby as well. And do you know what? I enjoyed it. I was doing kind of tying the two together. I was doing quite a lot of like guest blogging through it because at the time there weren't many women talking online about fitness, which is again mind boggling. This was 2017. Yeah. And so I was getting gifted things and things like that. It was really good fun.
So cool.
And I had a great brand. I spent way too much money on getting a brand done because obviously I really believe in that.
Yeah.
So I got this amazing brand and it was called Mamas Who Move. It was this super cool design. I was trying to get backing for a bit actually as well. I had real belief that this could almost become like a franchise.
Yeah.
It was quite a cool movement. But ultimately what it came down to for me is that you're targeting your audience is very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And you can't force people to exercise if they don't want to. You can't, they've just had a major change in their life. They're at their most vulnerable.
Yeah.
They're feeling very body insecure. They're probably feeling like unfit, obviously.
Yeah.
So then trying to encourage people to come out and do it. I think, I had a lot of inquiries and it's only, to me, it's only an hour gym class, not 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Bring your baby. This was the whole thing because
Yeah.
I loved exercise. Having my baby was like, they're barred from gyms. They're barred. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
How do you exercise?
Yeah, it makes sense to me as a mum and just working through what you're saying about the vulnerability of these women. I think that's such a testament to your moral compass.
Yeah.
Given that you've just explained that you've had such an affinity and a belief in the brand, so much so you'd invested in it, you were looking for investment, but actually when it came down to it, you were looking at these other mothers, seeing the blockers or the pain points of them not being able to join. And I think that staying true to your audience is unreal, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. So kind of numbers never really got to where I needed them to be. The PR was just getting busier again. So I wasn't really enjoying doing that. And I was, like I said, I was having my baby. So parked that, thinking I might pick it up again, but it was never meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, ended up working for myself for the best part of 7 years.
Wow,
which is crazy. Yeah, and I sort of wince a bit when I hear the word freelancer because I think it sounds, as much as I'm saying I'm a free spirit, it sounds really like you can't pin her down, just floating around. You're just kind of tacking emergency support for the people. And it absolutely wasn't that. There were elements of that where I was doing like what I would call like relief work for other agencies.
Yeah.
So, maybe doing a couple of days a week or taking on a client, probably for them, that was more what it was.
Okay.
So like leading an account for them.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to deep dive into freelance, what freelance means.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's different to a lot of people, like a lot of my friends, because to kind of touch, so a lot in the PR industry, a lot of, and probably other industries, but I can only speak to PR really.
Yeah.
You reach a bit of a glass ceiling is one thing at a certain age or stage of your career. The other thing is it's very, very common for women to have children and then leave and go freelance.
Okay.
It can't, even to this day, figure itself out to make it work for working
I get it.
families, we should say nowadays.
Given the nature of the job.
It's so female centric. Yeah. The whole, I think it's like, and don't quote me on these stats, but it's like, 80% of CEOs and MDs will be men.
Yeah.
Which just doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't.
To me. So freelancing for me was more, like I say, to start off, I think you do that. And it's particularly with my nature, not particularly knowing what I wanted to do, just kind of dipping my toe in and help, working with other agencies, and then started building up my own client base, which I loved.
Yeah.
And again, liking my own company and doing what I say, that suited me down to the ground.
Do you know what, Lucy? For the penny's dropping for me now in the name of your brand.
Right. Yeah.
Because this feels like a full circle moment for me. It can be called whatever, but you've just been so liberal and open. So to be called Honest Digital, I get it now.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Do you know?
That's just giving me goosebumps actually. Because now I get it. Yeah. Now I know you more. Yeah. And we've become friends along the way, but now it makes sense. Yeah. Knowing your journey. Yeah. And I think everybody needs to hear about it. Anyway, carry on because you're amazing.
It's
I'm
all
absolutely
good.
loving it.
Yeah. So I came up with Honest Digital Comms as a name for my business post COVID. So during COVID for me, I describe it as becoming like a 1950s housewife again. My husband was really busy. The kids were tiny. One was at school, but obviously school shut, everything shut. So I became like full-time mum, which there were parts of it that I loved. Yeah. And like routine was like king for me. I had to really lean into the routine or else I just wasn't getting through the day. I kind of did the reverse for everybody else after COVID. So I started looking for office space after COVID in like the August actually of 2020.
Oh, wow.
Went to view space down at Alderley Park, and where you could hot desk. And again, hot desking wasn't really a thing.
No.
So I'm googling away and looking at these things, and do I want this office? No. I knew I had to get out the house. So as everyone else is going, oh wow, this working from home is brilliant. This is great. I was like, it is, but like hybrid is the one. If you ask me.
Absolutely.
I needed a bit of both. I needed to get up, to put an outfit on, to put my face on, get out the house and get into
I can see
work
that
mode.
completely, and I think you one or the other.
Yeah.
And it drove a lot of people home or a lot of people out.
Yeah.
And they either thrived on the fact that they could now get up and feel like they could do more because of all of that like superfluous waffle that happens when you go to work and your day's like maybe 6 hours instead of it being 8.
Exactly.
But when you work autonomously, like, you know, we've done before, you, I think the need to de-mum sometimes is a motivator.
Yeah. I think for me as well, it's part of, like you say, putting that like professional hat on and stepping into that zone.
Yeah.
'Cause when you're, you know, mum the other time and you can't, I don't know about you, there's toys in like every room in my house or like, you know, bits of kids' clothing and like so it's constantly on your mind. Like, oh, I'll just quickly do that then.
Of course,
and all these little quickly jobs end up. I've spent all day doing all these little quickly jobs.
You said something really resonated with me. You know, you can't quite feel professional in your dressing gown, picking the phone up. You have a different persona. Yeah, it's almost like you've got to step into. This is work, Lucy. This is work, Kelly. And I think I've always been a connection person. So for me, I am let's get out. And if I'm sat at home, I'm having a chill day.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. I can work from home and I would never want to be in the office 5 days a week again, ever. But for me, I needed that out at that time and it was brilliant. So I worked there for 2 years and realised actually what a creature of habit I am. I'd go and sit, you know, had a choice of, I don't know, hundreds of desks I could sit on, sit in the same seat. Have my like little coffee, same time, same coffee.
Love it.
Every day that I was in. Go, you know, they had an on-site canteen. So you felt part of something as well. And we had like a group of us that would sit together and it reminded me of being in the library at uni. I used to go and study in the library back in the day because I don't even think we used to I obviously typed up my essays at uni, but this was how I think I didn't used to like study on it. I used to go to the library and read books.
Same.
And write notes.
Same, John Rylands. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
So I was in there all the time and it reminded me of that. We'd all go to the same place and you might catch your mate's eye like, go for a coffee.
Yeah.
It was like that. We loved it. And again, I've got, you know, still in touch with people from there.
That's nice.
And we'd refer work to each other while relevant and celebrate each other's wins and be there for each other when it wasn't so great. And I really needed that at that time. And then
Lucy, it's really bloody brave. This is really brave move. Not very many women. Well, I'm sure there's lots of women, but to make that move on your own, I think that's quite a big deal. I know you met people there, but to go to somewhere else as prestigious as Alderley Park.
I think the way I've been brought up, I realise now it's the way I've been brought up is I'm quite careful with money. So I've always, I'm not saying it's loads, but I've always got a reserve.
Yeah.
And I think, I know people look at me and think like, oh, she likes the makeup, she gets ahead. But I actually don't spend a lot of money on those things. I'm really considered about what I do because I know it doesn't really matter. It makes me feel nice. It's not like, you know, the clothes and things and the makeup. I don't buy the most expensive brands. I don't do that because I would rather have that cushion.
100% agree with that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that's what's important. Or I'd rather put it away for a rainy day or I'd rather be able to invest in those risks.
Yeah, that's
probably a bit of a tangent, but...
No, I think that's brilliant. I think that will speak to loads of people that were worried or scared or nervous about feeling like the image is the first thing, you know, the priority.
Yeah.
think it's quite hard, isn't it? Where do I prioritize?
Yeah.
And like you say about you already said that there was a bit of a juxta with the, the Moms That Move brand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Moms That Move. Because you were spending money and maybe a bit too much, but you believed in it so much. So it might have been a time for you where you were like, no, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. Whereas actually it might have been a bit out of your comfort zone to do that, given that you, on this side, feel that you want to just kind of be a bit more conservative. So you have these moments. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah. And even so, my eldest daughter now is 10 and she's even started saying, because obviously, you're reading all these parenting things, and I read something the other day about by the time they're 7, like they've got most of their, like who they are is kind of like set by then. Obviously a lot is still going to change, but like it's really scary because my youngest has just turned 7. So like I'm really in tune with all those kind of messages and whatnot. But yeah, my eldest said to me, oh, Mum, you don't like spending money, do you? I probably literally have said that like out loud in her earshot. Yeah. I'm like, no, it literally makes me like, tense. I want to, don't get me wrong, I do treat myself and I obviously do spend my money, but I'm very like, I plan a lot. I'm always like plan from month to month, week to week, what I'm spending and know where everything is.
I don't know if lots of people do that. I think they want to do it.
Yeah. And I love a bargain. So if I can get it cheaper somewhere else, like even if it's like something that's £5, if it's £2 down the road,
stop.
I'm having it.
Are you that girl?
Yeah.
I'm like, Lucy, fuck it. Does it matter, babe?
Honestly. Not if I'm with friends. No. Obviously not. Then I'm slamming the fuck it button and we're going out. We're having a great time and it doesn't matter. But that, it's been budgeted for somewhere along the way. I think
that is brilliant. And I think more people need to take a leaf out of your book, because I think getting to know you like that has given me a really, that's inspirational for me. And if I can, and then because you're such a curious person as well, with you saying about traveling and jobs, and I just find that texture to somebody so rich and so who I want to be around. And when you want to, I think it's okay for somebody to say, I want to be more like Lucy. I think that's all right. And I don't think people think that nowadays. Yeah. I actually really like Kel. I want to be more like her. Yeah. You should have that feeling with friends. That's what they should bring to you. Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I love listening to you and who you are and what makes you tick, and especially in the world that you've been in. Yeah. But yeah, testament to your upbringing. Oh. I mean, likewise, we just clicked, didn't we, from the get-go? We've got a vibe, babe. We're vibing. So let's talk a bit about how that kind of segues into what we've done together, because I think that now I know a different facet of you. I feel quite honoured to know that what you wanted to do, given your backstory with us and the brands and encouraging us to go on the training days that you've done. I can see how it now led up to sort of the perfect peel being on TV. So obviously played a massive part in that. And we'd worked together before anyway. What did you see in it? What in me, in the brand, in the perfect peel that resonated with you? Because that is our affinity. Yeah. You can't get away. We've already said we're connection people. Yeah. What did you think? I've got to get this. This is perfect. I think for me was as soon as I think because I'd been a client first, hadn't I, of yours? Yeah. And I'd come here through research and whatnot, had obviously been to other places for, again, put my toe in the water at places, and nowhere, I'd not really built a rapport or a relationship with anywhere else. I was kind of having little one-off bits here and there, and then came here, and I think even just walking in, it by far just felt like the most professional. Really? 100%, like the most professional clinic that I'd ever been to, from the car park, like this secluded private oasis. Like surely that's what we all want, was out of getting this such personal treatment. God, that's amazing. And then you were also caring and compassionate and clearly knew your stuff, and always pushing yourselves and learning, excitedly showing me new equipment that you'd got and new things you were developing. And then obviously your background with your brands and your medical background combined was like,
she really knows what she's talking about.
Oh, that's mega.
And then add to that the fact that you were so honest and like not like there's not a sales like for for the best will in the world. There's not really a sales bone in your body.
That's so true.
You're like, yeah, you don't need that. I'm like, all right, I'll put my money away.
That's so true. That is so true. And I still feel if I didn't have to make money out of it, I would do it for the love of it.
I know.
Honestly.
I know you would.
But thank you for saying that, because I don't often hear that. And it's nice to hear it coming from you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes, then we started working together, didn't we? And we were kind of doing bits of regional PR profile raising and that sort of thing, which was great. And I think we worked around like a charity initiative, didn't we? Which was struck a big chord with both of us, helping CWA, wasn't
My
it?
CWA, yeah.
I think what I think sets me apart as well when I was freelancing was that I wanted to really like keep up the game. Like I said, I didn't want to be like this just a freelancer.
Yeah, yeah.
So I subscribed to a lot of the quite expensive lists that normally only agencies would have.
Okay.
So that I could keep these connections and keep these opportunities flowing.
Yeah.
And an opportunity came through for filming for ITV. And I thought, you guys would be absolutely perfect for this, because not only are you like brilliant on camera, because I'd seen little bits that you'd done, but I just knew you would be, because you're so true to yourself, and that's what they want filming nowadays. They don't. I know people think it's all fake, but actually, it's not. Like, yeah, there's smoke and mirrors, but they want real people, and they want experts, and they want people that aren't plastered everywhere, actually, which isn't necessarily ideal in my job, because we want to be like, go, get you everywhere.
Yeah.
And we do that. We're successful at doing that. But sometimes that will be the no, is that no, because she's overexposed.
Oh, okay.
And it was a skin episode they were doing. So it was series 2, wasn't it? So they'd kind of done, I think the first series, they'd gone quite out there. And actually they saw themselves as reining this back in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want it to be too, not necessarily scaremongering, but even like that dramatic. It's about real people. And the reality is there are aesthetics clinics everywhere we turn for a reason. Yeah. We're all getting treatments.
Absolutely. So true.
You know, that's the kind of era we're living in.
Unregulated, unfortunately. However.
Yeah. Obviously there's that side to it. But as a
nation. As
a nation, as a generation, that's kind of what's happening. But yeah, when it was the skin, they were doing a skin episode, and I thought, you'd be absolutely perfect for this. So, and then once I get an idea in my head, for work-wise, I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm
my God, I love that.
I'm going to make this happen. Because I think we spoke, didn't we? And I think somebody else, like, you'd even like seen, had a whisper, and you were like, oh, I think they're...
That's right, another clinic.
That was it, because the other clinics offered...
Because we went down south,
But I was like, I've got this. Because you do, I think that's it as well. I think people think PR is just like right place or right time, or it's easy. And to an extent, when you've done something for that long, you start to like believe that yourself. You're like, oh, maybe it is just easy, and it's just, firing off press releases. But there's so much more to it than that. And it is, all the timing that goes with it, all the skills. And yeah, I just knew you'd be perfect. So I was like a dog with a bone, and I was so happy when it came off.
That is new news to me, that you were so tenacious and dogmatic about it, because I knew you were that guy, but I've worked with other PR people in the past, and it doesn't always come off, which is fine. You know that, and they tell you honestly, yeah. So you're hopeful, but this was going to be a big deal, and you were like, we need to get you on this.
Yeah.
I was like, amazing.
Yeah.
So I had every faith, but to know that behind the scenes you were like really working tirelessly to like make it happen.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think from like time it perfectly, write a killer pitch, follow up on the right times, make sure I've done my research into the show, what they're looking for, get them on the phone, because people are scared to pick up the phone these days.
Yeah, so true.
So like pick up the phone.
Yeah, absolutely. Go back to old fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I'd far sooner speak on the phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, even if I'm booking a restaurant, I'm like, hello, have you got a table?
Yeah.
They're like, can we check the light? I'm
like, all right, Nana, get online.
We've got an app for that. Just book. No, you get directed to the website. Yeah, I am still a very people person like that. So I hear that.
Yeah. But I hate getting fobbed off on the phone. That's really bad, isn't it, when you do that?
Yeah, really
Because
bad.
like we're literally speaking now.
Get your booking up on screen.
Yeah. Can we not do this? Like customer service, don't get me started. But yeah, and then there's all, I think that's, we'll talk about, and I realised I didn't actually get to, in my career story to where I am today,
now,
in the past couple of years, but PR in its very nature is very stressful because of a lot of things, but because nothing is ever guaranteed until it's like actually happened.
Right.
So until they actually walked in this door filming with the crew, and then until it's actually scheduled to be on air,
Yeah.
it's not a win, like it's not happened.
I see.
And the amount of times things have been pulled, okay, probably not to that scale, but you know, national articles and things like that you've pitched, you've worked with a journalist on, you've showed they've been round to your client's premises, you've done all this sort of stuff, you've sent them a load of samples, you might have even taken them on a press trip. They've written it, it's great. The editor doesn't run it. You're like, oh, I feel sick. Like you feel sick.
Sticks in your cocktail.
Like all the will in the world, and you've got to sit there and then face the client and say they didn't run it, and then it's honestly the worst feeling. Yeah, and that is just the way it goes. It's editorial. It's free.
How do you explain that to your client? Like, how do you kind of like ready them for that?
Mrs. Honest over here. I tend to just like tell it how it is.
Right.
Which didn't always go down that well with my like bosses or what have you, but
it's like where you are.
It's editorial, and that is the game. But obviously, you know, an element of sugarcoating. Look at all this other brilliant coverage we have got, and look at this pipeline that we are working on, and look at how we are repurposing that work.
Got you.
So, yeah, that's
okay.
That's
so
what
there's an element of you just got once you decide to go down a PR route, you have to stop being too precious and too demanding of the PR agency, because they're going to do the best job, obviously, depending who they are.
You have to trust them, and you have to see them as a partner.
Yeah.
You have to let them in. It's amazing how some clients just don't let you in.
Right.
And that you will not be successful together. It will not last. They will not get the results. Or if you're not making time for your PR consultant or agency, it will not work. Because, and you know, again, any good PR or good agency will tell you that before the first meeting.
Right.
You know, they'll tell you that in the pitch, like, you are going to need to make time for this. And that will get less as time goes on.
Yeah.
But while we're getting to know each other, I am going to need your time, because I need to understand your tone of voice. I need to understand your business as well, if not better than you do.
Yes. Yeah.
To be able to consult. And sometimes you can get that thrown back in your face a little bit. And again, that's a massive red flag for me of like, well, you obviously don't get it. And it isn't going to be a successful relationship. It isn't going to work well if you're not prepared to give us that time.
Got you. That's really interesting.
It doesn't just come from like the wallet, because obviously, you know, the top PR agencies costs, well, you'll know.
Yeah.
They cost an arm and a leg.
Absolute arm and a leg.
But they're worth it, you know.
Absolutely.
I will defend PR until I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
It's an amazing
I agree.
marketing tool.
Definitely.
Done well, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything better
No,
to
I
get
agree.
you know, people talking, to get your brand where it needs to be.
It's the stigma around PR.
Yeah.
Because PR's diverse.
Yeah.
In its denominations of what makes up a PR agency.
Yeah.
And I think that can get lost with a brand, because you feel like, but you said.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it varies in its forms as well, PR, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it comes
absolutely.
in lots of different ways.
Absolutely.
And coverage comes in different ways. And
yeah,
no, I would, having done it on the side of it, I completely get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on with your story. Before we move on to, you know, your skin and things, just where you are today.
Yes. So I'm working at the Co-op at the moment. So I'm in the food business, because obviously we have life services as well. So the insurance and the funeral care business. And I'm doing a different role, really. So I've said goodbye to PR for now. I'm doing a comms and engagement role. So it's a lot of stakeholder engagement.
Okay.
I'm working in a brand new team with one person who's been in the business a while and is in a new role, who's brilliant, and another person who's new to the business. So there's kind of three of us on our little team, part of a bigger team, with really, really big and exciting ambitions. And I can't say too much, sadly, about the role or about the work that we're doing. But I am, value strategy, communication and engagement lead. And it's really, it's a strategic comms and engagement role.
Yeah.
So it's very internal facing for now,
Okay.
but the results will be external one day.
Cryptic, but I love it.
It is cryptic. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I can't.
Fine.
It's obviously like confidential, but
Of course. Quite right.
yeah, I think it definitely marks another point in my, what I would definitely call a squiggly career.
Yeah.
It's 100% a squiggly career. It's maybe not the role anybody expected me to take.
Yeah.
And I feel really privileged to be able to have taken this role and to have taken the time to wait for it to come around. And to have, let's celebrate the bravery of going for it. Cause I've had bad times with job interviews in the past and I hate them.
Oh, really?
I feel like I am slightly over that now because it's been a while. I think my first kind of job interviews were awful.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it wasn't my fault, but I had some people being like, on the other side of the table, being really rude, really demeaning, being messed around by recruiters where there wasn't a job at the end of it.
Oh, that's awful.
Like really
so demoralising.
Really demoralising.
But it's your life.
It's your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. All sorts of, awful experiences like that. So, but yeah, loving being at the Co. So I started in April, so still pretty new.
Yeah. Very exciting for you. And I loved hearing about that and that new kind of, like you say, meander into this role. And it absolutely, for me, wasn't what I thought you were going to do. Love the fact that you are and the fact that you've taken yourself out of your comfort zone a bit and actually able to honour a side of you that is diversified away from knowing that you'll be good at doing a role that's slightly different.
Yeah.
And I think, and I do think that the topic today definitely is brave and, honest. And I think that if ever I'm going to refer back to this episode about us, it will be that. And it's strengthened our connection, talking about who you are from that perspective. Because I've just I had respect for you before. Like it's like when you fall in love with somebody, keep falling in love and keep falling in love. You double the respect, you double the like.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we really want to be best friends and have Prosecco.
Yeah. We still need to get that in the diary. Too bloody busy.
But thank you for telling us that, because it's really set the scene for you as a woman, as a mother, and I just want to talk to you about your self-image along the way and what's made you pursue, given what you told us about, not that you're thrifty, but you're a bit more considered maybe than most. And I think people are a bit more throwaway, especially nowadays, especially fast fashion.
I think so.
As well. And fast skincare products changing that much. You stayed true to yourself and really talked about when we met. It's just, if I can sort it, I'd like to. I don't want to do loads of stuff, but I just feel like I just need a bit of a resurfacing. And that's kind of where the peel came in. And you've had first-hand experience of it.
Yeah.
So another real catalyst into, how you've been able to really platform it.
Yeah.
So if it's okay with you, if you're happy to touch on it, but just a bit about obviously you're not seeking the perfect skin, but you've got an image that you want to. So was it something that's plagued you for years? Was it?
Yeah, I think for me, it's always been, on my good days, it's always just about being the best version of myself. Nice. I think, again, I'm very kind of level-headed, I guess. Yeah. In that I'm not going to try and strive for something that I just knows out of my reach. But then I feel like that's a bit jarring because then I am ambitious and I will go for things. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. But I also have this thing that if I don't like something, I'll change it. Yeah. Like we've seen in the jobs and the things like that. And I'm not afraid to have a go. It's I will literally try anything once. Yeah. if I believe in it and I've researched it and it's been on my mind and I'm considered, I'll sleep on it or, more than that. Yeah. But yeah, I have this real belief in we're only here once and just
brilliant.
Love life, enjoy it as much as you can. Because you've got to do all the shit as well. Yeah, we've got to do all that. So I'm not saying I'm whistling, washing the pots or, that all has to happen. But also very much me and my husband both are like, we prioritize like fun in life, and we prioritize the life in life. So if it gets to Sunday evening and like the house is still a mess because we haven't got around to the chores, but we've had a bloody brilliant weekend, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's an amazing place to be.
Like obviously I do a bit, and I get that in a car, and I like a clean kitchen like we all do, and I like to know all the uniforms are ready.
You don't sweat the small stuff.
I don't sweat the small stuff. I would rather be out there having a good time and be on my deathbed being like, bloody hell, that was a ride.
Same.
100% than like, oh, but weren't all my sheets always freshly washed?
Yeah.
Punctually every week.
I'm down. That is how I
like,
completely...
My kids are clean, happy.
Yeah. I don't sweat the small stuff. I've always lived like that.
I feel sorry is too strong a phrase, but I know people who do, and I wish they didn't.
Yeah, I agree. It would be freeing for them, wouldn't it?
Really
They'd
freeing.
see the
really
world
freeing.
with completely different lens.
I've been on holiday with people, a week holiday, where they've done several loads of washing. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I do like to take home a clean case. I might do it on the last day, so maybe that makes me a hypocrite. But you don't need to be washing every other day, babe.
I totally get that. I'm the same.
Get by the pool.
Yeah, 100%. We're like, because holidays with, do you think we could go in the pool before we get on the plane? Yes, get in.
Yeah, you 100% can.
It's fine. We have a plastic bag for wet things.
And I'm that girl, like, I'm never like glam on the plane. I'm like rushing there last minute. I'm a total mess. I'm like in duty free trying to slap a bit of like something on.
Brilliant.
Because to me, that's small stuff as well. Yeah. Like, I'll blab it when I get there.
That's ace. You're a fascinating creature, especially given your rules around money and things like that. But yet you've got this freedom to be able to feel, like I say, you've almost got like a real hippie bohemian spirit, but being quite considered.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice way to be.
Yeah.
I love that. It speaks to me.
Yeah.
So then, given that you've gone down that route, and I'm finding even more about this, and I absolutely can the world become more Lucy, please? Because you are so fucking cool. But talking about like motherhood, and you've got two girls.
Yeah, two girls.
My Cole's 7, so I know he's 8 in January, but I know you've got 7-year-old yourself.
Yeah.
But balancing like professional mumism, and we've talked a bit about like doing that with kids. Do you worry about the future of beauty industry image for the girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a word, yeah. Yeah. The 7-year-old, so the eldest is away on a residential at the moment. They do like the school trip for a couple of nights. So the youngest is distraught without her. And it's really nice, actually, isn't it, to have that sort of one-on-one or, time with them. So we went to the Trafford Centre after school last night, and she told me that one of her little friends, a 7-year-old friend, only likes to go to Sephora in the Trafford Centre.
Stop it.
It actually broke my heart. Like, I felt chest pain at that. When my 7-year-old was there wanting to go to Kenji, the toy shops, Toys R Us.
Absolutely.
Like,
who's going to Sephora at 7?
Why are kids wanting to go to Sephora when they're 7? I don't get it. Like, don't get me wrong, she likes a little sparkly lip balm from Claire's.
Yeah, absolutely, which is quite right, quite apt.
Yeah. Yeah.
70p, we'll do that.
Yeah,
we're not spending like 20 quid on it. That is unbelievable.
I don't get it.
That worries me a bit, actually.
It worries me massively. I've seen on Instagram friends with 10-year-olds getting skincare fridges for birthdays.
Yeah, I don't.
And I see it all over my feed, like little girls holding their Sephora bags.
I mean, it's not the look we want, is it?
It's not, but like, what are we doing?
No, I completely agree. And, before we spoke a bit openly about seeing images now that have become the norm for us, and our children are seeing these images, seeing women, walk around like Trafford Centre and places like that. And everybody's had something done. And unfortunately it looks obvious, like they've got the lips done and they've got little kids and they're pushing prams. And it's just that sort of juxta, that, like you say, jarring kind of.
Yeah, I think for me, it's, so again, I was at the Trafford Centre last night, and I had a bit of a moment where I was realising, there's a lot of very, and maybe it's because they didn't have all their faces on, but a lot of very normal women going about their business with a little girl similar to me, and looked like they'd not really done anything, but then had these massive lips stuck on. But it was like, I think I saw 20 or 30 women that I would put in that category, and I don't get it.
I don't get it. But it's not a place that we know, because it's not where we've come from.
Yeah.
We've got, and I'm not blanket, that integrity and stuff. But because of that connection, you can never break that.
Yeah.
And I think looking at somebody and appreciating them for who they are and not sweating the small stuff, the industry's not like that. They've grown up to believe the industry needs them to look like that because of the rise of Instagram, the rise of like Love Island, and that's the norm. So we have to like not overly vilify these people because that is their norm.
Yeah, 100%.
Unfortunately.
100%. Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
And maybe the other work they've had really subtle, so that's fine. But then they've gone, go on, wax
Maybe
my
wax them
lips
more.
on. I don't know. But yeah.
But yeah, I think it's fascinating. And, I think we're filtering. Yeah, there's a question here actually, which really like speaks to us. Do you think the beauty space is starting to have more honest conversations, or are we filtering too much? And, for me, like the future of beauty, what are we doing wrong to get for these people to look like this?
For me, I think it's full of contradictions, actually. I think 1 minute you see somebody, okay, on the much softer end of the side of things, like the Dove campaign, okay, we all know that, using the real women.
Yeah.
And then the cynic in me, though, is like, it's a Unilever-owned, or PG, I can't remember which one.
Yeah, Unilever.
Massive brand. Like I know people hail it as like a real celebration, but I almost, like the cynic in me and being in the industry, just kind of sees through it, but just sees it as money-making. Like I'm not convinced they believe in it. I'm glad that apparently it has had a really positive effect. Like if you look at outcomes, it has, and it can only help us from seeing real women.
Yeah.
I just think is what the campaign was called. Wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
That can only help because I was listening to something the other day actually and talking about how, when we grew up in the 90s, airbrushing was so rife.
Yeah.
We didn't even know though, did we? Like I remember, so we're here to talk about the skin journey. I remember looking at front pages of magazines, not even front pages, throughout, these flawless faces as a teenager with bad skin. It was a really hard read. And I was reading every word on there trying to get the answer to how I got that. And obviously journalism wasn't what it is today.
No.
And, definitely what they were flogging me, like the oxypads or whatever, were not
going to get you there.
Going to get me there. I really hope they might. They were not going to get me there.
Clearasil is all you need.
And I remember it was recently, but let's say it was in the last 5 years, getting, I think it was the Boots magazine, and they were celebrating skin texture, and their front page had really porous skin on the model on the front page, and they were celebrating I think it was when there was quite a lot of noise around that about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. And it stopped me in my tracks. And I remember thinking, if I'd have seen that as a teenager...
Would it have given you permission?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would have been so helpful.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
So I have to think, because that's more where I feel like my self-confidence issues might come from. Like I said before, I've always exercised, so I've always been relatively slim, weight's not been a personal issue.
Yeah.
So the Dove campaign maybe then wouldn't resonate as much.
Yeah, get you.
But yeah, just seeing that literally.
Well, it's like, Nikki Hamilton, Josie did 10 years younger, Gokwan did the lineup of the women.
Yeah.
And then, wanted to really promote this body image.
Yeah.
So where do you think you fit?
Yeah.
And most women would get it completely wrong.
Yeah.
They go, look, you see your perception of, it's like an extension of that.
Yeah.
But back then, nobody was really paying attention to it. And it was like a really controversial out there show. Whereas now we've got things like Naked Attraction. It's like normalised. It's completely weird. And like Love Island promoting all these things. And, I think that that's what kind of worries me a bit in this lack of kind of this contradictory industry.
Yeah.
On all levels, I guess.
Yeah.
As working with us, you definitely brought out our voice, our tone of voice, our authenticity, and tried to really home in on that because you'd had the other side of the experience. What would you say to brands that you had been into, or you see your friends going to, or you see on social media, that get it wrong? Have you seen brands you just think, I just missing the mark, it's not enticing you?
So the number one thing is not knowing or not listening to your customer.
Right.
That is category wide, industry wide, like any industry. But okay, we're talking about skincare and beauty today. You there is no reason not to understand your customer today in this data-led world that we live in this digital world we live in. There are tools that can help you. There are professionals that can help you. It is worth its weight in gold to really tap into that and understand. Because as a business and particularly as a product-led business or a service-led business, you're there to solve a problem, right?
Yeah, true.
So what is it?
Yeah.
What are they looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You have to really take that side seriously, don't you?
Yeah. And this is what I'm doing a lot at Co-op actually as well. Listening to the customer.
Wow.
We're there to serve. Okay, that sounds pretty preachy.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, you have to understand your customer and you have to be prepared to keep up the pace with them and understand that they are going to change. So just because you understand the customer yesterday doesn't mean you're going to understand them tomorrow.
That's very, very agile thinking. And I think when you've got lots of small brands out there trying to stay true to themselves, but hearing the noise, it's really confusing.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what to do, because you think you understand them, and like you say, you might not be agile. Well, we've always done it this way.
Exactly.
So
there's a lot of
miss
that.
the mark.
People hate change, don't they?
Absolutely.
They hate change, which I struggle to understand because I love change.
Yeah, you do. And we've seen that in abundance. It's amazing.
I really do. But it is a real psychological fact. Like, we're wired to hate change.
Yeah.
So, now in my role I'm working with, there's a role called a change lead, and they sort of tap into all that's really interesting. It's fascinating. Because obviously my degree was sociology, so not anywhere near, can't confuse it with psychology, but it's
drawing
the
upon that.
society and it's people and it's how we behave, right? So it's fascinating to me. But from a brand point of view and wearing that sort of brand advisory hat, it's understanding your customer and it's like going on that journey with them.
Wow.
How could you, like you guys, you couldn't listen to your customer if you tried. Like even, you come in and there's a privacy chair for when you're waiting your treatment.
Yeah, nice.
I've not known anywhere else do that. Like you've thought about every step.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear,
and
actually.
like the skin club. Well, why would they not want to subscribe to having this? And yes, okay, some treatments can be a little bit pricey, so maybe they would like to spread the cost. Or, we don't want to be prohibitive to only people who've got deep pockets because it should be accessible to everybody.
That's so true, and it's so nice to hear that coming from you, and that encouragement, and that really did come from you. So thank you, honestly, honest,
You're welcome.
Lucy. I always ask my guests at the end of every session to just give me some of your own like homegrown kind of like. So I always ask every guest like just to answer like one question for me. One beauty rule that you know like in the style that they'd send up or send down.
Yeah. One
beauty rule that you wish that you would either want to completely see the back of, or like stand up or send down. So something that you wish you'd either stay for life or completely go.
I think for me, it's kind of 2 in 1. So it's going to be like insincere advice that's kind of not backed up or tested that I know I've fallen for in the past. I've been like, if they're saying it's got to be gospel. Now I've seen behind the curtain. I know it's could have come off the back of literally one, it's one person's opinion a lot of the time. Yeah. Literally one person's. The other one is probably like overpriced products.
Love it. Very honest and real.
Yeah.
And true.
Like shop around, big tip. Like I'm not a makeup artist or anything, but those Bobbi Brown and the Laura Mercier eyeshadow pencils, brilliant. What are they, 30, 40 quid nowadays? Yeah. Kiko Milano, get yourself down there. They're 10 quid, they are.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
You heard it here. Thank you so much. I've absolutely loved having you.
I've loved it. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, can you come back?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thanks, babe.
Thank you.
That's it for today's Barefaced Chat. Thank you so much for listening. If you've loved this conversation, make sure you follow, rate, and share. It really helps more people find us and join the conversation. I'll be back next week with another honest, unfiltered chat. Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story, and I'm here for it.